Welcome to episode 2 of our 60 days trip in Asia. This time we are in Malaysia, and more specifically in the heart of it, Kuala Lumpur. Kuala Lumpur is the capital of Malaysia, a country that blends Malay, Chinese, Indian and indigenous cultures. A melting pot of tradition, religions and flavors that somehow just works. The city itself is home for over 8 million people, and it never really slowed down. There's always something happening, something to see and something to taste. In this episode we'll dive in what makes this city so special. So be ready, Malaysia is calling. So our first day in Kuala Lumpur started slow. After more or less 20 hours in total, the flight from Phuket was delayed by a few hours. We are finally arrived in our apartment here in Kuala Lumpur. And yeah, we were so tired. 7 a.m. right now, and while the city is waking up, I think that we are going to sleep. We woke up like 24 hours ago exactly. And so we need to sleep to recover about this day and to recharge for tomorrow. Yeah guys, see you later. And now we're gonna get a shower and then we're going directly to sleep. See you. But then after a bit of rest, we're ready to discover the city. So today is our first day in Malaysia. We landed like 8 hours ago, where everything is fine and we are ready to go outside and discover the beautiful city of Kuala Lumpur. Today we decide to go to the Petronas Tower, and there is a beautiful park down there, and I think that we are gonna stay there to see the street food, the local food, the people, the park, the nature, and obviously the magnificent buildings about this city, because this is a big city. So it's not like Thailand, it's not like, Phuket or Phi Phi Island. This is a big city, so we have to walk a little bit, but everything will be fine. And tomorrow we will be at the Batu Caves, but this is another story. So let's go. We checked out the pool and the gym of our hotel, and then we headed out to see for the very first time the beautiful city of Kuala Lumpur. We start with one of the best spots of the city, KLCC Park and the Petronas Tower. Standing at 452 meters tall, the Petronas Tower were once the tallest building in the world, and they still hold the record for the tallest twin towers on Earth. They were completed in 1998, and today they are the symbol of modern Malaysia. And when the sun starts to go down, they light up like magic. That night we go back in our hotel in order to recharge for real, and to be able the following day to see one of the best spots that we want to see in Kuala Lumpur. So on the day 2 we added to the famous Batu Caves. It's one of the most important Hindu sites outside of India, and honestly one of the most breathtaking places we ever seen. The first thing you see is the massive golden statue of Lord Murugan, 42 meters tall, guarding the entrance to the caves. Along the way you'll probably meet some monkeys. Friendly but sneaky, so pay attention. And once you're up there, inside, the cave opens into a huge cathedral, with temples built right inside of the rock. It feels ancient and spiritual, even if you're not a religious person. To end the day in the best way possible, we went back to the Petronas Tower, this time at night. Because right in front of the towers, There is a fountain show with lights and water and music. After that we were starving, so we headed straight to the street food area of Kuala Lumpur.
So this is the heart of the street food of Kuala Lumpur.
Endless smells, sizzling sounds, locals eating.
There is everything here, literally everything. Some fireworks.
We sat in one restaurant and we started eating, but then it started to rain. Not just a drizzle, one of those fast tropical downpours. But there's the beautiful part. No one panicked, no one left. In a matter of seconds, the street vendors moved like clockwork, grabbing covers, shifting tables, protecting their little food station. It was like watching a perfectly choreographed dance. And just like that, everyone kept eating, kept smiling, like the rain was part of the plan. It was one of those moments, beautiful moments you never forget. And not because of the food or the place, but because of how people responded. Calm, united, real, authentic. That is Malaysia. Oh, and one last thing. The chicken I ordered tasted like fire.
It was fucking spicy.
This is fucking good.
This is the third day here in Kuala Lumpur, and today we visit this amazing temple. I think it's called Tan Ho. I don't know if the pronunciation is correct, but Tan Ho.
Also known as the Temple of the Goddess of the Sea. It's one of the oldest and most beautiful temples in Kuala Lumpur. A perfect mix of Chinese architecture, bright colors, and peaceful vibes above the city. It's dedicated to Madzu, the goddess that protects fishermen and sailors. That evening we had dinner surrounded by what felt like an entire city celebration.
So we are inside of this incredible street food, because this is not a typical street food. This is a restaurant, but you can find everything in here. And there are hundreds. You can scream because like the mass is so high, but there are hundreds of people here. Today was the last day of Ramadan, and 50% of the Malaysian population is Muslim, so everyone is happy. And there was fireworks, and there are also now fireworks in every single part of Kuala Lumpur. And so let's go to eat some roti telur with cheese. Fun fact about Malaysian people, or anyway Asian people, they don't use the knife. They give you fork and a spoon. And I mean, you can cut with a spoon, but it's not a knife. But I love to see how many differences there are between people in the West and people in the East. It's so fascinating. Beautiful.
At 7:30 a.m. we were ready to catch our next bus in order to go to Singapore.
So it was like 7:30 when we arrived in this apartment, and it's still 7:30 a.m. today, and we are leaving. In order to go to Singapore, we have to take a bus, like a 5-hour bus.
A few hours later.
And guys, we are so tired that you cannot imagine. 5 hours trip became 11 hours trip. In the early afternoon, I think that we will be able to do the check-in in a weird hostel that we take. Some weird experience that Paula wants to do. So I say, you know what? It's fine. We are in Asia. We are doing this kind of trip, so it's fine. And it's like a capsule hotel. You will see. You will like. And so let's go. Big gym right there. Small gym right there. Gymino here.
So it's time to go.
So we are at the pickup point in order to go with the bus from Kuala Lumpur to Singapore, and there are a lot of buses, right? But no clue of our bus, no clue. We try to call them, we try to message them, but nothing. So we are understanding what to do, but I think that we have to buy another ticket and wait another hour to get another bus.
But eventually we made it.
We did it.
My God. Not tragic situation. Mega tragic.
But we did it. So we finally arrived in Singapore. Right now we are here like this, and we are waiting for our food. We have to eat something and then go to our hostel, special hostel.
It was the first time in a hostel, and I truly think the last one. We were inside a room with 20 pots, some of them single and some of them double. So try to imagine that. Around 35 people sharing a 25 square meter space. You couldn't talk. There were 3 bathrooms outside of the room. Trust me, it wasn't comfortable at all. And also try to think about that. It's the kind of place where a serial killer could definitely live. So it's time to say,
Welcome to Singapore.
a city that feels more like the future than the present. After the chaos of Kuala Lumpur and the raw energy of Malaysia, Singapore hits you differently. Clean, sharp, organized, but still full of life, color and culture. It's one of the most developed countries in Southeast Asia. In just a few decades, Singapore transformed from a fishing village to one of the world's financial and cultural powerhouses. So we start the day by walking through the Singapore skyline. We made our way to the gardens by the bay. A place where nature meets architecture, and together they become something out of a dream. The super tree grove is insane. These aren't just trees. They are called super trees, and they're some of the most incredible structures in the world. Ranging from 25 to 50 meters tall, they act like vertical gardens, covered in over 200 species of plants and flowers. But they are not just beautiful, they are also functional. Some collect solar energy, others help with water collection and air circulation for the whole park. After all that walking, it's time to eat.
Yes, guys, Singapore is beautiful, everything is beautiful, but there is one thing that is more beautiful than Singapore. Shake Shack.
2 burgers over 40 Singapore dollars, but totally worth it. The first time that I had a Shake Shack burger, I was in Las Vegas back in 2019. And to this day, I still think that Shake Shack is like my number one. Maybe Five Guys can run with that, but I think Shake Shack have the first place.
Devi finirlo, guarda la bocca.
That night we decided to slow down and let the city put on a show. We watched the light and water show at Marina Bay Sands, right by the water. Music echoing through the skyline, fountains dancing like they had a soul. Then we walked back to see the super tree light up. It felt like being inside a sci-fi dream. Colors shifting, music building, and for a few minutes everyone around just stood still. It was magical. To the end of the day, we went for one last stop, Lau Pa Sat.
So we received an advice from a guy that went here, and he told to us, you guys have to go Lau Sat. And so it's a mix of street food restaurants, and he told us that it's super good, and it seems that. So let's try something.
One of the most famous street food markets in Singapore. The smell of grilled meat, spicy noodle and fresh satay fills the entire street.
So updates on the food, guys, is very good.
If you use your imagination, it's like a carbonara.
It's your imagination.
Or maybe if you are very hungry like us.
Approved.
Singapore gave us everything in one single day. Design, nature, light, food, and this was just the beginning. Our time in Singapore was short but intense. But now it's time to move on.
We are ready to go to Vietnam.
See you in the next episode.